West. I'm Paul Schlienz.
My name's Andy Cook. Paul and I are from the Washington Hospitality Association, and our goal is helping this industry succeed.
Be sure and check out our award-winning show's Facebook page. That's at facebook.com/DineNW. You will find many items of interest, including past DineNW programs, all on podcast and available for your perusal at your convenience. So please do like us on Facebook. Give us that Facebook thumbs up because we do like and appreciate that you are our listeners. And remember that you can also subscribe to our program on iTunes. And now on the program, we've got Chad Pearson. He's at the Washington State Employment Security Department. And hello, Chad.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Andy.
Oh, thank you for including me. A lot of people don't. I get that at home too. It's good to have you online, Chad. What do you say we jump into this? I mean, we've got your name that's locked in, Chad Pearson, and you're with Employment Security Department. But tell us what Employment Security Department does and what you do there.
Sure. The Employment Security Department handles multiple roles. Its biggest role is probably providing unemployment benefits to residents in the state of Washington. They manage the fund that goes through that and it helps organize that. And there's a lot of other roles that we do: economic data. We help connect with the Department of Labor and provide trends and your unemployment rate for the state comes from the Employment Security Department. But we also have a handful of business-friendly programs that are out there, and we are always working to try to make it easier for business and find ways that we can help with both hiring and the economy and finding ways to make it better for business in Washington.
So, Chad, I know Paul's got another question he wants to follow up on, but I'm curious. There's a stigma about unemployment. What could you say that would illuminate people beyond the stigma of the idea of someone who's unemployed? I mean, this is something that affects everyone at some point in time in their lives.
Sure. Well, and I was going to say I'm not an expert on that part of it on there, but I would say that a majority of people go through career changes, and unemployment benefits help make sure that people can go from one job to another and be able to survive and pay their bills. It's not something to be ashamed of, and with all the services that are out there and available to job seekers, it is something that we could just rely on it as a safety net as we move through our careers.
And so, if we have someone that's listening right now who is between jobs or in career transition, what kind of advice would you tell them? It's like, I know that I so often come across people who say, I didn't know that kind of thing existed. I mean, where would someone start?
Sure. There's a lot of different ways that people go about finding new roles. And the first thing that I would do is tell people to go visit their local WorkSource office. There's 36 of these across the state, and then many more affiliate offices that really can help job seekers or people that are looking for jobs get connected into the workforce, whether you're a mid-level manager, high-level in your career, or just starting out. They have WorkSource specialists that are there to help out those folks and help them create resumes, give them workshops on what they're doing, but also for those mid-level people that maybe have worked for a company for a long time, they also can go through and help you brush up on any skills for interviewing. There's lots of parts to it. I work on a program right now called WorkSourceWA.com, and we say it's the clicks and the bricks model. And so these WorkSource offices are the bricks that we're talking about, and being a place that people can go and feel good about it and get services, and it's all free to the job seeker.
Yeah. Well, no, and I can't reiterate how much of value that I did find WorkSource during my own period of unemployment, which was also supplemented with some freelance work that I was doing during that time in 2011 to 2013. But no, I was very very glad that you were there, and certainly I would urge anybody in a similar position to take advantage of the unemployment benefits that are available. It's not some sort of freebie from the government. You are required to be searching for a job. I remember that very well, and there absolutely should be no stigma for it. Everybody goes through it, and I just can't reiterate it more than what was already said. But Chad, this has been a really exciting time for the hospitality industry. And last month, Governor Inslee actually proclaimed May as Hospitality Month in Washington. And the state has now entered into a real partnership with the hospitality industry. So please give our listeners some details on that.
Sure. Yeah, it was a great proclamation. To give a little background on myself, I've worked in the hospitality industry for more than 20 years, working for some major hotel chains up and down the West Coast. So to me, I've always had a real strong interest in this industry. And as many people, started my world working in a restaurant. So, I saw both sides of it. When we were able to partner with the hospitality industry, it was amazing the kind of work that got done. The Washington Hospitality Association and ourselves sat down and came up with some ways, because we know right now it's a tough time for employers oftentimes to find employees. The job market's really strong. It's hard to recruit when there's so much competition out there. And so we as an agency made a commitment to working with different sectors across the state where there are needs such as the hospitality industry to find workers. And so we took the initiative, and the commissioner and the leader of the Washington Hospitality Association sat down and talked and said, hey, we can work together and come up with a way to help. So I and a team here in communications, and then part of the team over at the Washington Hospitality Association met, and we decided to come up with a website, which we call a microsite, within our own job exchange called WorkSourceWA.com, and we created WashingtonHospitalityCareers.com. And this site is within our bigger job search website, and it is totally focused on the hospitality industry. It's focused on making it easier for people that may be interested in changing careers, or people that are looking to see what they want to do in their future, to be able to look and see, hey, what does it mean to work in the hospitality industry? We also have an easy way for people to search for jobs that are available and open right now. It was a great partnership. We ended up with this great microsite that people can look at. Again, WashingtonHospitalityCareers.com or WaHospitalityCareers.com.
There you go.
And it really is a great way to take a look at and see what kind of jobs are available out there, or what kind of training that you need, or certifications to do the many roles that are in the industry.
And so this is housed within the auspices of the WorkSource website. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. WorkSourceWA.com is our job exchange website.
And what sort of resources are there for hospitality job seekers?
Sure. There are resources on there. Well, the first page that you come to, or the opening area on there, and anyone that's listening right now can go on their mobile phones or their tablets, and as long as you're not driving, and take a look at it. It's all able to be viewed on those. You can go in and look at what jobs are available. So we've taken 8 popular job titles, maybe hotel manager, restaurant server, and you can just click on it, and it pre-populates the different jobs that are available, and then the job seekers can dial down to the areas that are local to them. As you move down the website, there's areas on there that talk about why working in hospitality is great. What kind of careers can you have? What things are available to you when you enter it. You know, a majority of the people, a lot of people that you speak to in the industry that maybe are in management or even leading organizations, they started out at the bottom or entry level roles. I myself, I worked my way through the career. My first job was a catering houseman at a hotel in the SeaTac area. Entry level job. I moved my way up and became an executive team leader of one of the hotels or two of the hotels that I worked at. So, but it gives you the career path that lets you see, hey, where can this lead me to? And people can jump on or jump off the career path as they wish. But the one thing that I know for sure is the hospitality industry provides incredible training. They do a great job because since customer service is one of the big things that are required to be in the hospitality industry, the training and the things that go into it to make sure that everyone is putting their best foot forward is pretty amazing.
So I jumped on the site while you were talking about it, and there are tons of jobs posted here. If I were an employer and I really wanted to focus in and take advantage of this, maybe take my employee seeking mechanism off of Craigslist, or maybe diversify it a little bit, how would I connect?
Sure. So there's a couple things you can do. I encourage all employers to go to the website. Just go to worksourcewa.com, worksourcewa.com, and go onto the site and register for an account. You go in there and you're able to post jobs and take a look at candidates that are already have put their resumes onto the website. So we launched this website about a year ago. We did it in partnership with Monster. We decided that we did not want to be the ones building and doing all this, so we hired Monster as a contractor after a process, and they created it's our own site. We don't share the information back and forth, but this is it. It is our proprietary site, and so we have made a website that is good to use, easy to search for, and offers all kinds of features that an employer can use to post jobs. And the best thing about it, since this is funded by state dollars, there's no additional cost to post jobs. And when you look at the top 10 websites that are out there, 9 out of 10 of them charge you to post jobs, and some of them are, it can be $400 to post if you have one single job that you're posting. It could be $400 to post a job posting on a major website.
Right.
And we offer it to you. Employment Security's website, worksourcewa.com, is at no cost. You can post jobs and also search candidates and resumes for people that might fit in well with your business.
Wow. That is a sweet deal for any employer.
Oh, I was just looking at, there are thousands of job postings. I mean,
yeah,
maybe even more than thousands. I was just looking at one category and it was almost 5,000.
Yeah.
So, Chad, tell us, you've mentioned a couple times that you came up through the industry. How did you get from that to where you are?
Well, as everyone's career path goes different directions as you go along. I went to school for a hospitality program, and during my summers, I had to have internship hours. So I worked for a major hotel brand in the SeaTac area, 2 summers earning my internship hours. When I graduated from college, my employer, who I'd worked for during the summers, had an entry-level job. We were in a little recession, not as big as the one we went through right now, but we were in a little recession at that point. It wasn't a ton of great jobs that were out there, so I took a front desk position and worked my way up, front desk supervisor. Then I moved into the sales area where I was selling conventions and groups for the hotel. I then had the opportunity to move to sunny Southern California, and I was a revenue manager. Those are the people that help do pricing and strategies for different hotels, and I managed a cluster of hotels doing that. I moved back into sales at that point and was a director of group sales, and then a director of sales and marketing for that same chain. I then experienced unemployment benefits as we moved into the 2000 or the late 2010 recession time frame, and had an opportunity at a hotel up here, a resort in the Olympia area. So I moved up here as the director of sales and marketing and did that. So it was a great career part to me. I, as an opportunity here to do more marketing. Sales and marketing in the hotel industry is oftentimes mostly sales and a little bit of marketing.
Right.
I really enjoyed the marketing part of it, and had some friends that worked here at Employment Security, and they recommended that I interview for a outreach position that was available, and have moved into the communications department doing outreach and marketing and branding for the different business-friendly programs of employment security.
So this has got to be a bit of a shift from your hotel background. What do you love about it? I mean, you're doing it. You seem enthusiastic
Sure.
about what you're doing. What is it that, I guess, lights your fire on in this new environment?
Well, what I really enjoy, and the reason that I applied for the first job on there, is that a lot of it's outreach. Again, doing sales, I enjoy talking to people. I enjoyed being around people and businesses and having discussions. This job was going to give me an opportunity to go out and spend 2 or 3 days a week traveling to different locations, giving presentations. But I also wanted to improve my marketing skills. And the person that recommended it coming over to this role was a marketing guy or a branding guy for the agency. And so I knew I would have an opportunity to work with him and improve my skills. And so this was a career progression. I still occasionally look out and see what kind of hotel jobs are out there or hospitality industry jobs. I'm not sold on it, but I use this as a stepping stone to improve my own skills.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to get yourself in a new environment to relearn what you've internalized.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, for anybody who's just jumping in, we are Dine Northwest. We're the only terrestrial radio talk show about the great food, restaurants, and hospitality industry of the Northwest. I'm Paul Schlienz. In the studio with me is my co-host, Andy Cook. We're from the Washington Hospitality Association, where we're always trying to help our members succeed. And you're listening to KLAY AM 1180, your conversation station. And the person that we're talking with is Chad Pearson. He's with the Washington State Employment Security Department. And Chad, as you know, at the Hospitality Association, we had a couple of really great hiring events, and I know that you were participating in that. And what is the what is the outlook for employment in hospitality?
Sure. Well, there's a couple things. One, again, I don't put myself as an expert talking about trends and different things that way, but I, as one of those people who's all naturally curious, I do a lot of reading. And one of the things that I have really noticed is the demand for the service industry, hotels and accommodations, and restaurant positions have been growing year over year by significant numbers. I looked at it this morning, and I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it stood out to me as we continue and the economy gets better, more people are taking the opportunity to open restaurants, or more people are dining out. So realistically, it's a cycle that builds on itself, and then it just means more employment for people in that industry. And another reason why we thought it was really, a great way to partner with a group that we could really, could try to make a difference, or really make a difference by creating this microsite and participating in some of these events. You mentioned the job fairs that went on. There were 2 of them held by the Hospitality Association that we helped participate in. One in Tacoma in Pierce County, and one in Seattle. That was in April and May. And there were hundreds of job seekers that were there interviewing with dozens and dozens of employers who had real jobs and were offering positions to people right on the spot. It was a really cool event, well organized by your team, DSHS, Employment Security, and the WorkSource offices, all partnered together to make these just great event and help fill roles in the industry.
Yeah, what I really liked about it was, I mean, there were so many resources there to flatten any barrier that you might come across. There bus passes given out. There were health card classes given right on site. Yep. Same with masks, liquor cards. You name it. Either even child care vouchers. They connected you with the city utilities to help get caught up, so you have water, so you can shower.
Sure.
It was so comprehensive that I don't know. People
help people buy uniforms. Yeah. It was amazing. I had never seen so many different groups of people work together so well. And when you talk about state agencies, it all seems like the state is the state, but really, the different groups, were fairly independent of each other. And to see this smooth, seamless transition between people walking in, letting DSHS know if there's any services that they need help with, like you said, bus passes or money to get uniforms or things like that, to moving over to the WorkSource staff to talk about any kind of resume help or things that they can do for them, to the Hospitality Association having these, sitting areas and then employers calling them over for interviews, and just the sheer number of employers, like good high-quality employers with good jobs. There were directors of sales and marketing positions on there, and there were server positions on there, and I was just blown away at how it all just flowed.
Yeah, I was impressed too. I was there interviewing people as they were being hired, and it was almost like American Idol or something. People would come out. They were pumped.
Yes,
they had their resumes. They were waving it around like a golden ticket, and there was a lot of enthusiasm there. And
the smiles coming out of the interview room in Tacoma. You could see the people that were just excited about it, and it showed there's people that want to work and just don't know how to get through some barriers that they have personally, or maybe they just don't know how to connect, or they haven't made a resume in a long time, or done this, and we were able to get them through that process. It was cool. It helps increase the labor force and decreases the amount of people that are, maybe receiving long-term services. It was really cool to see people's lives improved.
Well, yeah, and I'll use you as an example. As you were diagramming your resume, and I've had this conversation with many young people over the years, with my background in the hospitality industry, that they don't really. It's not easy to see the immediate value in what the hospitality environment can provide as far as core skills go.
For sure.
You could start off doing one thing, but there's so much variety of skills that are swirling around you that you could literally grab onto anything and develop a skill set that can translate to almost anything else. I've had conversations with people say, well, I'm just doing this for the summer. I want to be a PGA golfer. And I was like, okay, well, don't write it off, because while you're here, you can you can start developing core skills of strategy and timing and interpersonal relationships, and you're steeped in every generation that walks in our society, and you have an opportunity to connect and develop those skills while you're here.
And you don't find that in every industry.
You don't.
If you go to a manufacturing job, you might work on a manufacturing line doing certain things. But you go into the hospitality industry, and you learn those soft skills, but you also learn the hard skills, budgeting and scheduling and managing people. To me, those were the best training, whether I'm sitting in a training class or just real life experiences that I could even imagine, because it's led me to lots of different places.
Right. Yeah, and it's so easy to write. It's so easy to write it off, and so many people do. And there's just tons of opportunities to take a hospitality career in any direction you want to take it.
Totally agree. I had a friend posted something on Facebook this week, and she was celebrating her 30th year with the hotel company that we work together at. And she said, I just started this as a summer job while I was in college, and look at me now, 30 years later. I'm celebrating my 30th anniversary.
Yeah. It's almost like the moon could have been a giant asteroid until it got stuck in our gravity. And
right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Chad, is there? Where can we get more information?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So there's a couple different things that I would suggest. One, if you haven't already, write down or go to worksourcewa.com, WA.com, and take a look at the website, see what we have on there. Visit WAHospitalitycareers.com, which is just within that. And you'll be able to find lots of information. But I also have, for the employers that are out there and that are looking for ways to hire people and find people to fill positions, reach out to your local WorkSource office. Each of these offices have business services representatives that are there to help employers find job seekers. They can hold hiring events. They can help screen candidates for you. They can help you get logged into WorkSourceWA.com and help you post a job. And I promise you, if you're an employer and you go in there and you go through the sign-up process, we've made this, we've put employers and job seekers on a level playing field. We've put as much effort into the employers to make sure that we want you to use the site. And so we've made things easier for you. This site is made for not the big giant Boeings of the world where they have 50 people working in the human resources department. This is for the smaller business. We know that most businesses in Washington are 10 employees or less, 50 employees or less. It encompasses almost all of them, and they probably don't have a huge human resources department that can sit there and screen for candidates and do all this stuff. So we've created this site for employers so that you can manage your human resource activities of job candidates and screening all on one place. So I recommend you do that. Our WorkSource offices, and I mentioned the business services people, there is a representative in every county at every WorkSource office that has been trained up on the hospitality industry and would be expecting your call. So reach out to the folks at the Washington Hospitality Association, and we can send you a flyer with names or contact information that can get you connected to filling your roles.
Great.
Well, thank you very much for being on Dine Northwest, where we talk about the great foods, restaurants, and hospitality industry of the Northwest, only on Dine Northwest here on KLAY AM 1180, your conversation station.